Nicole. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is our Sunday sound off. This is our actually our Sunday fun day. It was Saturday was our sound off. So listen, this is our Sunday time to just come together and come back into the studio. Listen, if you don't know who I am, Dr. Nicole, I'm your guide at the side, your partner in possibility, your positivity champion for life, your rise and ride. So, as we are coming back into the studio, I just want to remind you uh, where you've landed. Now that you know who I am, where you are is practicing positivity in the studio. And what we do here, this is a dynamic learning laboratory, a living learning laboratory, where what we focus on here in this studio, in this lab, is that we are really engaging, learning, and learning how to cultivate an ongoing practice that is all about nurturing what gives us energy, vitality, and zest for the LIFE. And here in the studio, what we mean by that L stands for a life of love, inspiration, freedom, faithfulness to the purpose, the mission that we came here to fulfill. All of that jumbled together, pressed down, shaken together, running over to create an extraordinary, exceptional experience of this thing we call life. So that's where you've landed. And what we're doing here is this is 100-day journey of practicing positivity, practicing those things that are unapologetically, explicitly. We ain't hiding nothing. We not trying to sugarcoat it. We not trying to make nobody feel comfortable about it because we don't have no shame about the power of positivity in this place and recognizing that positivity allows us to these positive emotions. They allow us to not just bring our attention to a place that allows us to open back up to possibilities, to creativity, to inspiration, to reverse and flip downward spirals of reactivity to upward spirals of purpose and meaning. Those things that are truly significant as we move forward in our day to day. So, listen, as you've landed here in this raucous, wild ride called 2025, listen, as we head off into week 35, wanted us to have a moment where we come together for a Sunday fun day. Now, you want to grab something to write with, something to write on, because as you recall, our fun day in the Sunday is focus, you nurture. What makes the Sunday Sunday such a fun day? I get to see my Monday in the presence of the positive some way. It's my Sunday fun day. So, however you look at it, what we want to bring, the fun that we want to bring into it is a consciousness and an intentionality. You all hear me use those words or those concepts about intentional, uh, strategic. Strategic kind of pulls us off. It's really meant to say intentional. This is what I mean to do intentional, conscious, aware. So, with what we want to start the week with, is to bring this focus, really plugging into that sense of I'm being conscious, I'm being intentional, and it's also kind of tying into for me that sense of I'm tying into my purpose. I'm using my purpose to become an organizing principle for everything that I not only intend to accomplish this week, but help to filter everything that I will experience this week and to order my priorities, but also to help to kind of set my response and reaction to whatever emerges in the week. So the focus that I want to nurture. Now, remember what we mean by focus now. If we're talking about the focus you nurture, we're talking about the noun version of the word, not the verb, not to focus, but the noun version says the center of my activity, my attraction, or the center of my attention. So what we're looking at here when we're talking about the focus that I will nurture as I head into the week, just want you to begin. Some of you won't, you're already well into your Monday, depending on where you are in the world, or you may not even see this until Monday. You may not even see it until Wednesday, but perhaps it'll be a good reset for you when you come back to it. Whenever it floats into your ecosystem, this message is an opportunity. What's the focus? What's the center of activity, attraction, or attention that I am going to nurture? Now, I want to reprise that in real time. What's the focus that I want to nurture intentionally? What's the focus that I want to nurture? I may have to come back to it. So I might have to revise it. I may have gotten knocked off my pumps a little bit. Something may have occurred that simply, or I just kind of shot myself into this week like a cannonball and I didn't kind of come into it consciously. So whenever this message finds its way into your frequency and kind of gets into wherever your attention is at the time, what is it that you want to consciously, intentionally nurture? What will you choose to nurture? So, no matter when this comes to you, no matter how far into the day or the week you are, the message that I just want to impart at this time is, whatever it is, make sure that you take a moment, whether it's at the very beginning of the week, at the beginning of your day, or as I said, it's a moment of reset. Take a second, get a piece of paper, get something to write with, have something where you can write on what is the focus that I will nurture. And why is this an essential kernel for a practice of positivity, or really any practice? It's simply because we are then commanding, we are then bringing we're wielding our will and our intention to actually say, this is where I am bringing my focus. I'm setting the filter. I'm setting it's like Google Translate. I'm setting the program because I'm practicing positivity. I'm setting the filter so that no matter what shows up in my week, no matter, and even, let me switch this up, not only what shows up in my week, what I intend to bring forth in this week, I know I'm automatically going to be bringing it within a consciousness, within a heart, and within a desire to expand, to magnify, to exponentially amplify those positive emotions: joy, gratitude, curiosity, contentment, serenity, sense of awe. I'm going to be consciously looking at how do I cultivate those positive emotions as I grit, resilience. How do I consciously cultivate those emotions as I move through this week? Even as I go in and I wield my strengths consciously, how do I cultivate those positive emotions? And why do I cultivate those positive emotions? It's an opportunity, right, for me to broaden my perspective, to see beyond a specific situation or a problem or concern or even an experience, to see what else is possible. What might I learn here? How can I bring the wisdom that I've cultivated from the past and use it and exercise it in this situation? So as you begin into this week, here's our positivity pause. As you're thinking about the week, thinking about what you want to consciously bring forward and allowing positivity to be the filter, the organizing principle that you'll utilize. Hey, what's my focus this week? How will I remember to remember my focus, the center of my activity, attraction, or attention, no matter what shows up? How will I remember to remember? So, whether you're looking at this at the beginning of your week, at the beginning of your day, or on the rebound on the other side of something that's kind of knocked you off your game or knocked you off your intention, just come back to that question. Hey, what's my focus? What's my focus? And if I didn't set it earlier this morning, I didn't set it earlier in the week, what's my focus right now? What's my intention right now? And what can I do going forward to remember it? Whether I trip and I fall, whether I totally fail in my practice of positivity, I find my limit. How will I remember to remember? It could be as simple as making sure I'm well hydrated so that I can be thinking at my best, making sure that I get a good night's sleep so that I have that extra measure of patience or that extra oomph of energy that I need to really be creative. How can I remember to remember so that I'm not scrambling forward in the moment when life decides to serve me a spike across the volleyball net of life? So listen, that is our that is our message for this Sunday Fun Day, Wonder People. Remember, if these messages of these little bursts or pops or sparks of positivity are blessing you, serving you, you're enjoying them, hey, like, subscribe, share if you think it will lift somebody else. And also, my favorite, if there's somebody that you know could use this, send it. If there's somebody that you love that you just want to send them a little smile, send this. If there's somebody you can't stand, you need to send this. So go ahead and share. And remember, hey, you can always find me at tgcconsultinginc.com. And if you are interested in having more tools, resources, prompts that can facilitate your practice of positivity, just pop on to the URL, the web address that you see at the bottom of your screen, get signed up, and I will meet you in your inbox. All right, my wonder people, just wanted to drop that in for you as you begin this wonderful, wonderful week 35 of our 52-week run called 2025. And we are headed into day 21 tomorrow of our 100-day journey of practicing positivity. I hope that you have had a fantastic Sunday Fun Day and that you are preparing for a wonderful, wonderful week, and that you've given yourself a little roadmap so that you're ready to receive it when it shows up to meet you. See you soon. Be well.